Hello, guys. Welcome back to. Wait, what is this again? Promise. I'm gonna edit this later. Welcome back to Promise Chat. I am your hostess with the mostest. I am Justice Keith, and let me introduce you to the youth panel. On my right or left, because I really can't tell, we have Evie, and we also have Frida. We also have Ricardo down here at the bottom, and someone who really doesn't need introduction, someone that I adore more than anyone in the world, my sister, Denisha Little-Worthen. Everyone say hello to Denisha.
Hello.
Hey.
So let's just to kick things off a little bit. Denisha, can you please just give us a light overview of, I know you submitted a story. Can you give us a small overview of what your story was? I found it very interesting, the things that you wrote, things that I didn't know that you were going through or that you have gone through.
So I am 31. I was born February 14th, year 89, Jersey City, New Jersey. Of course, I am Justice's sister, little sister by 3 years. Basically, I submitted a story explaining, basically being in denial about my mental health. I'm the type of person who is a giver, who loves to take care of everybody else and put myself last. So I've never really honestly thought of myself of having any mental health issues. Um, I woke up one day and just realized that I haven't wanted to get out of bed. I thought I was just tired because I am currently diagnosed with cancer. So I thought that was just a symptom. But over the years, I realized that was something that happened often until one day I just woke up and just got in the shower and just did my hair. Something that I haven't done in like 3 days, which is not normally me. Like I take showers too much sometimes, or I'm always up doing something. So that was just weird for me. Also, I'm a wife of someone who was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. My oldest child, she'll be 13 in a couple of days. She has ADHD. Um, my siblings, suffer from bipolar disorder. My best friend, it was always mental health issues was always around me, and I didn't realize it until I was actually submitting this story. Actually, so I wanted to talk about it, and um, it also had something to do with my growing up. The reason why I was so promiscuous when I was younger. But I guess we can get into that. Moving on.
Like writing about yourself is never easy. And so writing about yourself is never easy, but going through the emotions of the things that you write about is definitely not easy at all. Before I start asking you questions, I'm going to let the panel ask their questions, and then I'll come in and out. So let's start with Frida.
I just want to make a comment real quick before we start. I love, so we were just talking about this earlier before we were recording. I love the fact that just as you asked your mom for like a little, like a baby sister, and the fact that Denisha is born on Valentine's Day, I'm just like, oh, like I think about like made with love, and it's like so cute to me. I just want to like make that comment before I start. Did you remix any other poems from Justice? Or anything else from Justice?
Yes, I did. I remixed.
Before you ask that question, let's that question some context. So in the story Denisha submitted, she was talking about how she told the story of how she took one of my poems and kind of redid it and showed a guy she was trying to seduce. So yes, in which to answer that question, yeah, she's remixed a few of them. Go ahead, Denisha.
A little backstory on that. Now I'm pretty good with my words, so it wasn't that I couldn't talk to him. It was who he was. He was a friend of my cousin, so we grew up together. So he didn't look at me as somebody he wanted to be involved with, and so I was trying to think of a plan like, how do I get him to notice me in a way that probably back then I shouldn't have. But my brother, he was more experienced than I was, of course, and so he would write poetry. My poetry wouldn't be about that, but because I wrote too. So I just remixed it and I let him read it, and I knew I had him after that.
Nice.
But to answer your question, yes. But it wasn't for him. I just liked it was a Christmas poem and I liked it. And it was about what's Mariah Carey song? All I want for Christmas is you. And
Oh.
it was talking about sex, of course. Um, but
Oh my goodness. Let me stop.
yes,
Yeah.
and yeah, and so I kind of revamped that, but that was it. Yeah.
I mean, I know that Justice had his. I know that like it was like family business being a writer and an
Yeah,
editor.
right?
Like, oh my
Yeah, like
God.
you're definitely very, very on point with that one. I agree.
No, but thanks for answering my question. Appreciate that. That's so cute.
Hmm. I said, okay. So I guess
That
I'll go
wasn't
next.
copywritten yet, so you're good.
Oh,
I mean, at least it's not
right.
plagiarism. You feel
It's
me?
Yeah.
It's not
not
plagiarism.
actually.
It's not. It's
Who-
Oh, that's nice. It's not
It was an
yeah.
plagiarism.
inspiration to what I was trying
Exactly.
to say.
Yes,
It's
I agree with
just
that.
inspo.
Hello, everybody. My name is Evie, and I'm an HMI community promise activist. I actually just received my free or quick HIV testing kit, and I'm going to show you guys how quick and easy it is to use. The reason why for me it's important to actually get checkups is because not only is it important for me in general to keep in track of my health, to know that I'll be engaging in activities with other people, it actually lets them know like, hey, I'm taking care of myself, I'm making sure that my health is okay. And it's up to them to do the same, but it's recommended, honestly. So this is the packaging, and this is the little stand that it comes with. So let's open and begin. So this is the test device. Let me show in the light, hopefully y'all can see it. And this is the developer. You do it around your gums, around this area, and then you put it in here for 20 minutes. I set my timer for 20 minutes, and now we just wait for this and the results. Later.
Next question, please.
All right, so yeah, like I figure, like like just like easing our way into it. So for me, like reading your story, like I definitely like can relate in some ways, in like a sense of like control and like trying to like like steer your life in the direction you want.
Right.
So well, you wanted, not everything goes to plan. So I wanted to ask you, like, what did you personally like want for your life, like with like despite the circumstance, like what is it that you dreamed your life of being?
To be honest, the complete opposite of what it was. So, growing up, we didn't have structure. My mom was around, my dad was around, but my father was on drug most of our childhood. And my mom, she was just the type of person who it is what it is. We really didn't have any rules. We weren't bad kids, so we really didn't have to, do anything. We pretty much took care of ourselves and each other. So I wanted structure. I wanted family. Me and my brother is big on education, and our work ethics. My mom didn't even graduate from high school. She went to the ninth grade. So we were big on motivating each other to completely change what our situation was. We were always in a place where we would get evicted, and so I felt like if I did everything and didn't depend on anybody, then I wouldn't get heartbroken or I wouldn't get um, devastated by anything. If I control it, then if anything happens, it's my fault, you know. So that's where the control thing came in. I had no choice but to be put in that situation, especially when I had my daughter. Especially when I became a mom, like I really felt like, okay, I'm not gonna mess this one up. This is not gonna happen. And that's where that whole control when I started to notice that I was really controlled. So it wasn't that I wanted my life to look like anything specific. It's just that I didn't want what I grew up in. You know, I wanted more. I wanted more
And
stability.
to almost add to that, it's not like we had many people to depend on
Right.
at all. Like we didn't really have
Right.
anyone to just call. Yeah, but we had each other, but we didn't have like the adults in our life were just bullshit.
Yeah.
And so we really didn't have much of anyone. So that was probably the reason. And I know for a fact that's one of the reasons why we're control
Right.
freaks now. Yeah.
So we were talking about like the control, how like you keep in control, but say things got out of hand and things weren't actually going your way and things were out of control. How would you take care of yourself in terms of like, you know, self-care in like these times?
That's the thing. And when it came to myself, I put myself on a back burner so I can. It was like if I focused on something else, then I felt like I was in control. As long as I can figure something out, I was always on the go. It wasn't like I had time to plan or think or anything. I just had to go. It was never a time for me to even take care of myself per se. It was just like I felt like, oh, I felt like as long as I get this done or do this, then I'm okay. Personally, I probably wasn't okay because I didn't take care of myself. Now, you know, that I'm older and I realize that and going through life, I realized that it is important to take a seat back because how can you take care of somebody else if you're not okay? But I've never actually done that. So it was always I was a survivor. I wasn't in a place to just um plan strategically. I just kept going and going.
So we're going to take a break real quick and we'll have more with Nisha when we come back. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi everyone, this is Frida, HMI Community Promise Advocate. I just received my free or quick advanced HIV test kit, and in the video I'm just opening it up and showing it to y'all. As you can see, I have the swab, and the area that I pointed to, you just use that area to wipe it around your gums, and the little bottle that I'm holding is basically the liquid that you place your swab in after you wipe it around your gums. It's really easy, takes less than a minute, as you see in this video. And I just want to tell you real quick why it's so important to do these tests. It's free. It helps you to keep your health in check, and if you have a partner or multiple partners, it helps them keep themselves in check. So thank you.
Okay, welcome back. We are here with the Community Promise Youth Panel, as well as my sister, Denisha Yvette Little-Worthen. Nisha, how are you feeling so far? I'm sorry, what?
Wonderful.
Oh, okay. Just making sure because we couldn't hear. All right, awesome. So Denisha submitted her story as a community activist and community role model. And right now we're just getting a cute little brief overview of her story. Frida is asking the next question.
When do you realize you can't fix everyone and that people will change if they want to?
Um, it was kind of a progression. I was actually on Facebook, and Will Smith said it. He said, I'm not responsible for making you happy. You're responsible for making yourself happy. And that kind of set with me, because, me and my husband was just going through so many things. And it was just like, wait, I'm not responsible for your happiness, and um, that kind of, made me feel a little bit better. Is like, because I'm putting, what I'm putting in you may not necessarily make you happy, and it's not fair to you. It's not fair to me. Not working. Obviously, this is not your place. You are not God. You cannot change anybody or anything. So it wasn't just one time that I saw it. It was just like over time. I just like, oh, okay. I had these little aha moments where it will always bring me back to, I can't do this. I'm not responsible for this. So it was pretty much over time.
I have a question in conjunction to that.
Mhm.
So being that's how it was, like you growing up and like you like aiding people and things like that. How was it like when you found out that Justice is gay and the fact that he had to go to conversion therapy? How did that set with you and your morals at the time, you being wanting to aid people? And did you feel like
I
right to you?
always, I always knew he was gay. It's not like we used to play Barbies together, so it wasn't like I didn't know he was gay. I used to actually try to defend him. That was so crazy. I used to. I remember
You're
he
very
was like neighborhood
powerful.
bully, and he wanted to beat him up, and I was like, "Get away from my brother!" I'll never forget.
Period.
He was in the park, Arlington Park, and
That's so solid.
yeah, but I always knew. Um, it wasn't like it was talked about. I remember we went to church and they wanted to have meetings or counseling sessions with him. And I got so angry. Like I used to get so angry at church because it was like, okay, so you're telling me that you have a problem with gay people, but yet you have pedophiles in the church because they confess, or you had murderers because they changed, and it just didn't sit right with me. So uh I was never trying to fix him, I always accepted him. He's my best friend. So it wasn't anything that changed drastically. I mean, he was born gay. Like it wasn't nothing that he tried to hide or anything. He would turn his little do rags. I'm telling this story. He would turn his do rags like into like extensions. Like he would attach a do rag onto a do rag onto a do rag so he could have this long do rag. And
Ooh, I thought like a funny
That-
little way to like a do rag.
yes, and then even when we were little, he used to put a t-shirt on his head. And so it was always like he was always gay, like he never wanted to play with boy stuff, so it was like normal. And then, my mom, she didn't, get mad at it, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a bad thing, around us. Nobody actually really talked about it, until we got to church, and that's when it was a problem. But yeah.
So like the only way I could have like long hair was to do like the whole do rag thing, and it was like my long ponytail or whatever. It was weird
You should
looking, but I
watch.
loved it. It was weird looking, but I loved it, and it was me. And now I don't have to.
I don't need that no more.
No, I'm
Not
really happy
You should
anymore.
for
watch.
you too.
At what age did you lose your virginity?
Me, 14, I think. I want to say 14, but if I'm being honest, it was 15.
I was 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it was so funny because so the day you could tell the story.
Good.
No, you can tell the story.
You can tell it.
So Denisha comes in after braiding someone's hair. So she comes in the house And I give her this look, and I don't know what it is. She just walks in, and I'm just like, you had sex. And I'm pointing to, you had sex. And she's like, what? And I'm like, you had sex. And she's like, how do you know that? I'm like, I can tell. I'm looking at you. I can
He
tell
said the
you had
person's
sex.
name. I was like,
I could tell. I'm
We're not
looking at
mentioning his name on here, but yes.
yeah.
So, little heads up. My favorite TV show is Author. You guys know what Author is?
Oh, Arthur.
I love Author. Author's my favorite. Author's my favorite. Is Author and Rugrats are like my favorite TV shows. To me, and it's only because I wish I could show you the picture. Denisha will always be DW to me. Always, forever be DW. You want to know why? Because you know the picture we took of me being in kindergarten, and you had like the sandals. I'll show you guys that picture some other time. I'll put it up later. She's literally the same as DW. And so she comes home one day, Denisha comes home one day after being in this nursing program, talking to her teacher. And she comes home and she goes, and maybe this is not how it happened, but this is how it happens in my head, Denisha. She comes home and she goes, I spoke to my teacher, and you have OCD. And in my head, that's how it happened. It probably didn't happen that way. But in my head, she's DW. All of a sudden, she's not in her 20s anymore. She's a 4-year-old girl stomping her feet, pointing her fingers at me like, you have OCD.
That was in my psych class.
It was your psych class.
I didn't say it like that, but that's how you perceived it, because it did not come out like that.
That's how I received it. And I would never forget that. And for some reason, that's how it plays in my head. And that's how I'll tell the story forever.
Right.
That's exactly how I'll tell the story.
The other question that I actually wanted to ask, because you brought up with Justice being gay. So in your story, you was like how you pretty much like feared men. Don't worry, so do I. Can't say no. Anyway, the point is, so I wanted to ask, did your fear in men make you question your sexuality at a point too? And then now, especially seeing like your brother like being gay as well?
No, actually. It is weird because I had a fear of men growing up, and kind of still to this day. It was more of like when I was younger, clearly something happened to make me fear.
It was a side effect of what we went through in Atlanta.
Right, exactly. So clearly something happened. I had heard different stories about what happened, but I don't remember. But when we came back from living in Atlanta with my aunt, it's like every man that came my way, I would literally scream. It wasn't like I just was shy. I would scream and run, and nobody ever understood it. And what makes it crazy is people used to think it was funny, and I was terrified. It wasn't like I was, just didn't want to go certain places, and I was, extremely terrified of men. So as I got older, I was still shy, but it was like, okay, if I put myself out there first, then it was almost as if I was protecting myself. So let me get you before you get me. Let me take from you before you take from me. I never questioned my sexuality. I was always open to try anything, but it was never something that I was like, am I, gay or anything. I never was attracted to females. I did experiment with females, but I never wanted to be in a relationship with them.
Denisha used to always say that she's a lesbian on the weekends.
Oh yeah, on the weekends.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I completed it. I'm here for it. I just should.
Like I'm weekends. Like this day don't count. This day don't count. Yes.
Please feel free to subscribe and share down below. How did having Kiara change you? Kiara's my niece, by the way. Kiara's my
my
niece.
daughter.
That's such a cute name.
She changed me for the better. She made me want to do more. She inspired me to want to be a better person. So, um, she changed me in a lot of ways. I thought I was prepared because of the experience I had, but we grew up together, like even though I was, grown because, I had to experience so much, but no, she went through so much with me, so yeah. And now she's about to be 13. Wow. Yeah.
That's crazy. I can't believe that she's about to be 13. We're both
Yeah.
getting old, Denisha. It's ridiculous. More with Nisha when we come back. For more information on Promise Chat or anything that I'm doing, follow me on Instagram, justice_love86. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Evie and I'm an HMI Community Promise Activist. I actually just received my free or quick HIV testing kit and I'm going to show you guys how quick and easy it is to use. The reason why for me it's important to actually get checkups is because not only is it important for me in general to keep in track of my health, to know that I'll be engaging in activities with other people, it actually lets them know like, hey, I'm taking care of myself, I'm making sure that my health is okay, and it's up to them to do the same, but it's recommended honestly. So this is the packaging and this is the little stand that it comes with. So let's open and begin. So this is the test device. Let me show in the light, hopefully y'all can see it. And this is the developer. You do it around your gums, around this area, and then you put it in here for 20 minutes. I set my timer for 20 minutes, and now we just wait for this and the results. Later.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining Promise Chat. Evie and I have been going through it during the break, but we're back and we're collected now. So we want to welcome you back, and we're back with my sister Denisha Little-Worthen. It's a long ass name, Denisha. How do you put that on your driver's license? I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for joining us today. I know it's definitely hard with you because you don't like to talk about yourself ever. So today it's all about you. How does that feel knowing that? I know Nisha hates attention. She hates attention. She's nothing like me.
No one did the opposite.
Total opposite. Yeah.
Nothing like me.
Total opposite.
She hates attention. I don't really like attention, but I like.
You're a diva.
I'm a diva in a way. Like this, like I don't want attention. But this right here, I can do. This is uncomfortable for Denisha. Like if it has to do with like filming and something for like a good cause or public speaking, I can do that. As far as having like attention, I'm too much of an introvert to do that. In which Denisha and I both agreed on that. Like we don't like that type of attention because it's like too much, it's draining. But doing this, I can do all day. Denisha hates it. She would rather be behind the scenes, directing, writing. She hates talking about herself. So I'm sorry. It's a little uncomfortable, but it is what it is. I'm sorry, boobies.
Doing it for a good cause.
It's for the cause. All right. So yeah, back with more questions with Denisha, and leading the pack is who's next?
Ricardo, because I already asked my question about
Ricardo.
Yeah.
So you made mention of you having a lot of surgeries throughout your life. During these procedures, would the thought of waking up in the middle of it ever cross your mind?
All of the time. It always like and I'll be fine right until I get on the table and they say countdown from 10, or they ask me a question to, letting me know I'm falling asleep. And that's the last thing I thought about. And then next thing I know, I'm out of surgery. But it happens every single time. Like, Lord, please don't let me wake up during the surgery. Please don't let me
Right.
wake up during the surgery. But yes, yeah.
That is always how I feel getting like when it like because they'll literally say to you like countdown from 10, and by the time I reach 9, I'm already out, and then I wake up like, what happened? But
No,
I'm
you know,
always afraid. I'm always afraid.
it's bad because like I'm so used to having surgery. So like I like it's like a little joke with the doctors, like, I bet you I'll get past 7. I bet you I'll get past 6. Like I like I just be like, all right, when I wake up, tell me what number I got to. Like, and it was like, you won't get past 5. I'm like, I bet you I get past 5.
That's
Yeah.
that's ridiculous. Which one out of all the surgeries you've gotten, which one was the hardest? Like as far as like recovery time and pain.
Recovery.
Like as far as recovery and pain, yeah.
The recovery from having my last son.
Mm.
That was
Hi.
the hardest because I had cancer with him, pregnant with him, and had cancer with him. I had him early, very early. So it was hard for them to get him out of me, and it took a they basically was hacking, So that recovery was kind of hard because I got sick, and I had postpartum depression. So that was kind of the hardest, yeah.
I remember so Denisha had just had her second child, Keanu. And I remember the recovery for that because I had to
That was
take care of
hard
her.
too. Wow.
That was hard. I actually slept on the you guys. I slept
Slept
on the
on the floor.
floor. I slept on the floor by her bed every night to make sure that she was good.
Yeah, that was hard too. Wow. I
Look at
forgot
my
about that.
brother bear.
Because
Yeah.
she
Yeah,
had to.
I had chills, I had fever, and I didn't my mom just took my oldest daughter to Florida because we were moving the next month, and then my son was still in the NICU. And I had came home, and I guess I don't know. I got sick. I had fever and chills and everything, and I couldn't get up because I had a C-section.
Yeah,
So he was just like literally sleep on the floor to like give me my
sleep,
medicine.
sleep.
Yeah, like literally, like my bed was right here, and then he was right there, and yeah,
Yeah.
wow,
She would get up in the morning. She would have to go to the bathroom. So,
yeah, I
like,
couldn't
if
get
I
up.
was, and so I never slept really. So she would have to get up, and I would have to help her up, get her to the bathroom, help her down on the toilet,
Yeah,
get her up, get her right back into the bed, and she'd be shaking because she'd
yes,
be so cold because of her fever. I would have to pile blankets on top of
yes,
her
I
and
remember
like
that.
pat her, rub her, so this way she could get warm again. And when she got warm, and Nisha, I remember like her teeth would chatter,
Yep.
and so I would just like just make sure that she was warm and things of that sort, and then she'd fall asleep and I'd be up for like a good hour, start to fall asleep, and then she'd have to get right back up. Next question.
I wasn't planning on asking this question, but it's like now I feel like I'm obligated to like. How do you feel like your life would be without justice?
Mm.
It's like I just see, I know that justice. Whenever justice cares about someone, he cares deep and genuinely, and I admire that because I'm the same way. When I care about someone, I give them my all, and like how justice does. And it's just like I see how much he loves you. So basically, where do you feel like you would be like without justice's love and support and care?
Well, the fact that we're even apart, like in different cities, is hard because we're so used to being around each other. So when I first moved to Florida, that was kind of hard. But I can't imagine myself without him. So that just is not something that I even want to think about. Because he's my first friend. We the only two siblings that share the same parents. All of our other siblings don't have the same mom and dad. So we are the only two that, are actually genuinely good friends. And we never actually fought when we were younger. Like, it wasn't even something, how siblings fight all the time. We didn't even do that. So it's not something that I can even think about. It's like if I imagining myself without my child, or without my left hand. Like, I can't think my right hand. I can't think about it. So, yeah, that's answering your question.
Pretty much the same answer.
Yeah,
Like, I don't,
yeah.
it's hard to even think about what life would be like without my sister, because we've always been together in some way or form. We grew up being told that we were twins in a way, because we could literally think and feel each other's pain. So, and that's just our connection. So I don't really like to think about what life would be like without her. I mean, the thought of it right now has really sent me into a depression, because now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, damn, I'm sad. Damn, I'm sad. So, and I told you guys, like I always say, like I told you guys the last week, I think the last episode, if my mom is the heart, then my sister is the beat. And that's really just how it is. Like, so if that answers your question, Frida.
I want to ask the other question, but I wanted to get sad, so I'm not going to do that.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Hey.
Okay. This is kind of like a question for justice.
Huh.
How do you feel? How scared are you because your sister has cancer or like has all these health issues? I'm getting sad.
Don't cry, because I'm about to cry for you. I'm like, oh.
It is. Imagine your worst fear. Then times that by infinity. It's not like, I always say, like, I always wish it's me and not her, because she has 3 kids and her whole entire life that she hasn't really got a chance to live yet. So I always wish it was me and not her. But also, I always say, like, so I wrote about this. I always say, I asked my mom for a sister. I asked her to be here. I spoke that into existence, and now I feel like sometimes it's my fault because my sister's having health issues and I can't do anything about it. So, yeah, it's scary because you're always thinking you're going to lose not your sister. Forget about the fact that she's my sister, she's my heartbeat, and she's my blood, and she's like what unconditional love is to me, but she's also my best friend. So if you can, I'm losing my spirit, my soul, my heart, and everything. Plus I would be losing my best friend. You know what I mean? So that's hurtful. And I don't, and sometimes I wonder, like, if at any point, if she was to go, if I'd ever rebound. So it's scary for me.
You have to.
Please feel free to subscribe and share down below.
I just want to say to both of you real quick, thank you for both. I just want to like take time for both of you. Like, thank you for your vulnerability. I appreciate your strength, and just thank you for like sharing that with us, both of you, like all your experiences, especially you, Justice, for bringing someone as important as your sister, your heartbeat, and your other half, and your best friend. Thank you for bringing her on. Appreciate that. So, thank you.
Next question.
Let's say, okay. Let's say, because y'all don't make me cry.
That's what community promise is. That's what we do.
I'm gonna cry right now.
I know, like I'm about to tip. I'm like, oh my goodness.
But Darrell didn't come on yet.
And then Darrell's gonna come and he's gonna start crying.
Oh yeah, it'll be all wrapped up.
Oh my god.
All right, so just make this quick. Well, definitely agree with Frida said. Like, Justice, thank you for giving us a piece of your happiness and showing a piece of your happiness, you know? It's okay for us as people to be a little selfish with things that make us happy. And thank you, Nisha, for being here as well. Like, I really appreciate you. So kind of got to get back into like the meat and potatoes. So we were talking about your surgeries and stuff, correct? Mm-hmm. So I'll actually, like, when I asked this question, I was like, yeah, like, it was like the thought process was kind of giving, like, it kind of makes sense because of the fact of like there's only so much that the body could take, and especially after hearing what Justice told us about you from like after pregnancy and stuff. So it was my first question. I was like, has the like constant surgeries like also like caused you to become depressed because it's been so much, especially like throughout your life?
It's actually the quite opposite. So when I first started having surgeries, I was, you get the typical, why do I have to go through this? But me being who I am, I always think that there's a reason for something. There's a purpose for something. And the fact that I'm surviving the surgeries, I must have some work to do. I always wanted to be a life coach in some type of way. I never knew what it was called, So I always felt like, okay, if I'm going through something, it must be to have experience, because I can't give anybody advice if I haven't been through it. Mm-hmm. I don't believe education wise, I believe in learning from a book, but I also believe in experiencing things to help people. So it was always something that, okay, I have to have this surgery. I don't want to have it. If I didn't have to, then of course I wouldn't. But what am I learning out of this? I always try to look in the lesson of things. It didn't happen by chance. I tell people a lot. Getting cancer was a blessing. And the reason why I say this is because it changed the way I looked at life. It made me want to stop procrastinating in my dreams and what I wanted to do. It made me want to spend more time with my family. It made me want to research things. It made me want to figure out what my purpose is. And with cancer, you do tend to go into a depression, mainly because it's more chemically induced more than mentally. But it do get tiring. I'm not gonna lie. It do get, like, I have to have a surgery on Tuesday. Actually 5 surgeries in one day. So it's redundant. Like, okay, I'm sick of going through the same thing over and over and over again. But at the same time, it's just like, I gotta do it. It has to be done because I'm a mom, so I gotta fight, so yeah.
More with Nisha when we come back.
Hi everyone, this is Frida, HMI Community Promise Advocate. I just received my free Aura Quick Advanced HIV Test Kit, and in the video I'm just opening it up and showing it to y'all. As you can see, I have the swab, and the area that I pointed to, you just use that area to wipe it around your gums, and the little bottle that I'm holding is basically the liquid that you place your swab in after you wipe it around your gums. It's really easy, takes less than a minute, as you see in this video. And I just want to tell you real quick why it's so important to do these tests. It's free. It helps you to keep your health in check, and if you have a partner or multiple partners, it helps them keep themselves in check. So thank you.
Please feel free to subscribe and share down below. Okay, guys, we are back with Denisha, and we have a special guest joining us today. It is Darrell Pias.
Hi, everyone.
Just back to join us for this segment as we talk about mental health. And Darrell, how are you? It's been a while, a couple of episodes.
Yeah, I'm well, coming back from a health scare, but I'm alive. I'm kicking.
Would you like to talk a little bit about your health scare before we move on?
Well, if you guys remember the last time we spoke, actually the first time I met Ricardo, Evie, and Frida, I mentioned that I was having chest pains. I wasn't joking. I actually had I was in the middle of something that evening. 3 days later, that Sunday, I had a heart attack. So I'm out of the hospital. I had to stop smoking. I changed my diet. I take about 5 medications every day, and I'm still alive and kicking. Grateful. So,
Yay! I love a success story.
It's all because of Mariah. I'm joking.
Wrong book.
I gotta say, I gotta say one thing. I love that book, but the audio book is flawless.
They say it's really good.
The best audio book I've ever heard.
I said to Nisha, to your sister, I said it to Tony, I'm sorry. But it's much deeper than I thought, the book.
It is.
Yeah.
The audio book is, okay, that audio book and the Color Purple audio book is literally the best two audiobooks I've ever heard. And you would have to listen. I'm going to send you guys the link.
The Color Purple and the meaning
No. I actually listened to the Color Purple audiobook when I was in high school. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
There's an updated one that was just released 2020. It was just released, and when I tell you it's a performance,
I'm here for it.
And you are going to love it. And back to Denisha.
Definitely.
Back to Denisha. So Denisha, you got into in your story, you were talking about your relationship with mental health, your relationship with mental health as it relates to you, your brother, me, your best friend, Darrell, your husband, and your children. Would you like to elaborate a little bit on that? Because you have to, please.
Okay. So my first experience with mental health that was actually diagnosed was with my husband in 2008. He had just lost his mom in 2007, and then in 2008 we had just had our daughter, and so I saw signs of he always had issues, had traumatic childhood and everything like that. So in 2008 he had a nervous breakdown, and when he was in the hospital, it was almost as if like I don't know why I felt like is he playing? Because he plays a lot. So I'm like, is he playing? Is it something that he smoked? Is it because at the time he would smoke marijuana? So it was just like, is it something that he smoked? Is this a side effect of what's going on? Because he didn't. He left the house one day. But the reason why he left the house is because he said, now mind you, I cooked my food with Sazon. Well, I used to anyway. And, it turns everything orange. So I was making pork chops, and he asked me, was I trying to kill him? And I was like, what? And he was like, you trying to kill me? That's orange or whatever. And I was just like, what are you talking about? I was like, stop playing. And if anybody that knows my husband, he plays a lot, So it was just like, stop playing with me. And so he's never was the type to just leave and never come back. Like, never. So he left and he didn't come back. So then I was worried. I put in a missing persons report, called the police. I'm calling hospitals. And they tell me that he was in the medical center. So I rushed down there. Mind you, I am 19 years old. And but I rushed down there to go to the hospital, and he is completely naked. And he was just making no sense at all. Like he would say, he worked at Stop and Shop. So he was just like, kept looking at a receipt and was like, I work at Stop and Shop. And I was just like, what are you talking about? And so he was just going back and forth into hallucinations. And he's never done that around me, so it was just kind of weird. I was scared. I was confused. And so I asked the doctor what was going on, and she was like, "Well, most young black men, between their 20s and their 30s, they usually experience a nervous breakdown. So, this is pretty much what it is." So she was telling me that she was gonna do a drug test to see what if it was drug induced and everything like that. They didn't find any drugs in his system. He didn't smoke marijuana constantly, so it wasn't nothing like if it was laced with anything or anything like that. So it was just kind of weird. Like he wasn't himself. Like at first he would just like get the hell out of here. I was wearing all black and purple, and he was like, "So you a gangbanger now?" And it was just like, "What are you talking about?" Like I was confused because it was like it was him, but it wasn't. He was still talking in the same voice. It's not like he was telling me that he's seeing things or anything like that. He wasn't. He just wasn't himself, and so that was my first experience. I was scared, I was confused, and all I wanted to do was help him. All I wanted to do was fix him, make him go back to what he was. And he had a few episodes after that, until they found the right medication for him, of course. But it made me look at mental illness um, in a different way, because now I had to live with this. I had to adapt to it. I had to make sure I was um, making sure he was taking care of himself. Because a lot of people when they take medication, once it start working, they think that they don't need it anymore. He's done that a lot of times where he would think, okay, I don't need this anymore, I won't take it, and then next thing you know he's hallucinating again, or so it was something like. And then they didn't even give it a name. They didn't call it bipolar or schizophrenia. They said it was a psychotic disorder. And because they didn't know exactly what it was, they didn't know if um them giving him medication for the nervous breakdown caused one thing or another. So they didn't even know what to call it. And I just, started researching it. But that was my first experience with something that was diagnosed. Of course, I've been around mental illness all my life, with siblings and family members and friends. They just weren't diagnosed at the time.
For more information on Promise Chat or anything that I'm doing, follow me on Instagram, justice_love86. Thank you.
Um,
Mhm.
in the reading, you spoke about how when you guys first started dating, basically like you guys were toxic to each other.
Oh yes.
So you mentioned a lot of self sabotaging in like relationships, basically like pushing them away and like denying their love and affection. So
Right.
do you think when his mental illness started acting up, do you think that did you see yourself reacting that same way more, or did it just bring you
When
closer?
he would have these psychotic breaks, it would bring me closer to him because it was like he needed me. So, um, now I went into let me do that fixing thing, and so when he would have those psychotic breaks, it was me being more affectionate to him, or my version of being affectionate.
When things weren't the right way, did he manage to handle you properly when even when things weren't like really the best?
Handle me how?
Like, assure that he is like, giving you love and like the most authentic him, despite you denying it and like, pushing him away.
Yeah. So Yes, so he's never ever actually. The more I pushed him away, the more he pushed to show me
Amen.
that he loved me, and that would get on my last nerve. I was like, why don't you get the point? Like, get the hell away from me. But he would just be like, Nisha, I fucking love you. Excuse my language. But he was like, why can't you see that? I never had to deal with um the females calling or wondering. I never had to deal with stuff like that. We did have to deal with other things, but it was never something that he wasn't showing me genuinely that he loved me. Um, and he's very affectionate, very. He always want to kiss. He always want to hug. Like the things that women like, the things I don't. I'm not. I'm not that people. The things that women want from their man. I'm just like, oh, get a hobby. Like go do something. Like and
Yes.
like and it's so crazy because we try not to like argue too much around our kids. So he'll text me like, I'm trying to love you and keep pushing me away. So but when and it's crazy because in my mind, like I really like if he's at work, I say, okay, when he come here, I'm gonna hug him. I'm really gonna hug him. Like I'm gonna kiss him. Like I really gonna do it. Like Nisha, you really gotta do it. Like just go, go dress up, go do something or whatever. And I be prepared, I actually start missing him. And then when he come home, he'll say something. I was just like, really? Like, like really? Like it's almost as if like I still have that fear of men, because at the end of the day, he's a man. Even though I know he would never do anything to hurt me physically, emotionally, um, I know that he loves me. But it's as soon as like he's trying to, if he's in control of trying to come on to me, it's just like I freeze up. But I can go into him. Like if he's not asking for it, like I'll go hug him and do everything like that. But as soon as his like he wants to do it, it's just like I get and I try to just like get it out my mind. Like Nisha is not, don't even worry about that, whatever. And yeah, so that is that. Now that I'm even thinking about it, yeah, the more I push him, he pushes me. Like he's just like, I don't care. I know you told me to get away from you. 5 minutes later, like, yeah. So he just knocked on the door. So I was just like, yeah, yeah. But yeah, wow.
Aww.
My goodness.
I will say this: Lehman is very affectionate.
Yes. Can I
Denisha is not affectionate at
Yes.
all. Go ahead.
Yeah, they were.
So,
No, I'm trying not. I don't want to like. I'm trying not to speak because I've had my moments, and every time I speak, it turns into a therapy session. This is
No, you're
Denisha's moment.
fine.
I will say this: I lived with Nisha and Lehman, and they got on my last damn nerves. But
amen. Amen. Amen.
the love is there. Like she's not exaggerating. The man, like he worships her.
So before we had this conversation, like when I was able to get like my sense of who you are from that paper, a question I had for you was, why did you why do you feel like you were exempt from being flawed?
It's not that I was exempt from being flawed. It was more that I didn't know that I had mental health issues. So I thought that I was okay. I was mentally healthy because I like things that should have gotten to me, it didn't.
Mm.
So like when people would say like if my father would say something to me, I just like whatever, like it don't it don't matter to me. That can be good most of the time, but then it's just like you're in denial about what's actually going on. You're not dealing with it. It wasn't that I thought I was flawed. I just didn't deal with the stuff. I didn't deal with me. One, because I didn't know how. And two, it was like, okay, because that person don't know how to deal with this, then that person has the problem. Because I can figure out how to deal with this, I'm okay. So
Mm.
I didn't
Like an
realize
outside looking
that
in.
I didn't realize that Nisha, you're not okay until I wasn't okay.
Nisha, when do you? Because you, as you have said, you've helped countless people who have dealt with or are dealing with mental health. My question to you is: do you think that is there any time when someone is beyond help? Did that make any sense?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. I think everybody I have this friend, I won't name his name on here, but he and he's not Darrell, but he is the most negative person I can think of. And he's clearly hurt. He's clearly going through things. He's clearly, going through things. And you would call that type of person who can never have friends, can, never every time somebody come into their life, it's always something going on. Everything is a problem. Nothing is good in their life. They keep going through the same thing. They're the woe is me type of person. No matter how many times you try to help this person, they always revert back to, their old ways and everything. He always feels like it's everybody else's fault. It's not him. He blamed everybody else and it's not him. Um and I just be like, at the end of the day, you got to think about, why does everybody have this same opinion about you? Why do you keep going through the same thing? Um why are you always in the same predicament? At some point you got to realize, it's me. What can I do? And I think, to answer your question, I think it's not that they can't be helped or can't be fixed. They're not ready. And no matter how many times I say something or do something, you think people got to hit rock bottom. Nobody really hit rock bottom until they have no other choice but to get up. And he's not ready to get up. And that's my whole
Truth.
opinion. Like, he
The
has to be
truth.
ready to get up. Like, I can
Right.
put my hand out, but if he don't grab it and get up, it's defeating the purpose.
Please feel free to subscribe and share down below.
Your people's growth you know, don't come from you or what you give them. It's all about what they want and how far they want to go. So
Right.
you do your part, and you're not responsible for what they do. You can't get upset about if they didn't take your advice or not. Mhm.
Has anybody ever tried to put the same effort in you at any time in your life that you have put into them?
Mm, good question.
Mm-hmm.
If they did, I didn't allow it and I didn't recognize it. Mm. Okay. We just, it's crazy because um, we just had a family Zoom meeting where I told my family, okay, the cancer's back. Um, I need help. I never asked for help. So that's kind of hard for me. Um,
Never.
Never. And so um, my family actually surprised me when they was just going through things like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we can do this. What you need, tell us what you need. Don't if you need us to do this, let us know. We had a meeting from before I found out the surgery, a day after, what I had to do, whether it was chemo, radiation, like what different parts of the family is gonna do. And it was shocking. And then I was like, I'm gonna tell, everybody, what I need from them. And then it was just like, still Denisha being Denisha, I just need this, but don't worry about it. I handle it. When somebody is trying to do it, if you don't just do it, I'm not gonna ask for it. Like if it just don't, somebody just get it done. I'm not just gonna sit here and just ask for it. Somebody asks me what I need, I'm good. I'll figure it out. Unless I'm really desperate and I'm like, do you, but um, I,
Yeah, we have that in common.
I've never,
Yeah.
I've never noticed if somebody was trying to put that effort in.
Yeah.
I never, you know.
I think that also comes from like our, I guess I want to say it's pride or whatever, but I feel like our need or us not asking for help comes from our mother.
Our mother, because she begged for
Always,
everything.
always, 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 always.
She depended on
On everybody.
everybody. So it was almost as if I didn't want them to see my mother in me.
Yeah.
And my aunt, she would get so mad at me because
Mm-hmm.
she would be like, she'll find out something and she'd be like, why didn't you tell me? And she was like, you're not your mother. And it would just be like, um, well, I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
Hello everybody, my name is Evie and I'm an HMI Community Promise Activist. I actually just received my free or quick HIV testing kit and I'm going to show you guys how quick and easy it is to use. The reason why for me it's important to actually get checkups is because not only is it important for me in general to keep in track of my health, to know that I'll be engaging in activities with other people, it actually lets them know like, hey, I'm taking care of myself, I'm making sure that my health is okay, and it's up to them to do the same, but it's recommended, honestly. So this is the packaging, and this is the little stand that it comes with. So let's open and begin. So this is the test device. Let me show in the light, hopefully y'all can see it. And this is the developer. You do it around your gums, around this area, and then you put it in here for 20 minutes. I set my timer for 20 minutes, and now we just wait for this and the results. Later.
Okay. So let's talk a little about your relationship with Darrell. This is something that we did not really get a chance to like touch base on when we were talking to him, but I'm glad that you guys are both on. We'll be wrapping up soon, but let's talk about that. How did you two meet?
No tears, Denisha.
Wrong person.
Right.
Okay, so well, we met through Keith Justice, but he is my brother's first cousin. So, our brother's first cousin. So, our brother's mom is his mom's little sister, basically. Yes. So, it was crazy because I don't think you liked me, did you?
You always say that.
I
I
don't think
never
you
had
liked
anything
me.
against you. You and Jazzy
when
me
he
Dorelli.
first.
It wasn't. He's just an asshole.
Yeah, we
No,
already
but,
talked about that.
one
Look at
day-
Evie like, yes.
I don't even remember. I think one day we were having a conversation and realized we had so much in common. We were karaoke.
Yes.
So we would talk about things that other people wouldn't get or would find weird. Our minds think differently than a lot of people being Aquarius. So
yeah, that's right. Y'all both Aquarius.
yeah, so it would be like that we would say something and then it would be like only we would get it, so it would be like that. And of course, I was always, more mature than
very wise for her age.
Yeah, so it was just like it was natural for us to, be friends. But we would spend summer nights. Well, we all did this, but summer night we would break day.
Mm-hmm.
And I would always like we would watch Food Network, just lay in the bed, watch Food Network all day or Animal Planet. Like we would just talk about things. It was like we would talk about every and anything. It wasn't
Every
nothing
and
that it was every and anything. And he got me and I got him. So it was really like basically should have happened. No matter how many times he tried to push me away, he tried to get rid of me a lot. The first
yeah.
time he tried to get rid of me was when I met my husband. He said, he was like, I feel like I'm losing my best. But yeah, he tried to push me away a lot. The first time was then I remember I got so mad because I was pregnant and I'm like, I didn't see him. He lived right down the block from me. Like literally right down the block from me. And I would call, try to talk to him or whatever, and he would just push me away and stuff like that. And then I remember we started talking because I reached out after a while. Then the next time he tried to get rid of me again, I was just like, no, like this is not gonna happen. Um, I think it was like 3 times, maybe. Like
It's more than that.
No, it was
no, it
more
was
than
like
that. Remember?
yeah, I remember.
No, when I had my place on Danforth and I texted you like I have to end this friendship.
Right.
Because I was getting high and I didn't want you watching over me. So
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that, and I remember it was on my birthday. We used the apartment down here in Florida, and I think you almost overdosed maybe, and you had called me. I just had my baby.
Yeah.
And I kept like calling you and like not saying nothing.
Yeah. And I came around here. I got in a cab with my pajamas on. I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
It was February 13th. It was the day before my birthday.
But it must have happened more than once because another time you didn't come, you just called the ambulance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Well,
I was in the hospital. That's why.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I couldn't come because I would have been there. But yeah, he tried to a lot of my friends do that though. They try to because I dig in a lot and they know that I care. So I guess they don't want to disappoint me in a way. So they would rather get rid of me than to have me, I guess, stop what I'm doing and focus on them. Yeah, but people can't get rid of me no matter how hard they try. Like once I invest myself into you, if I see something in you, you're gonna get to that point. Like it's not we're not gonna like you're gonna get to that point. We're no matter what.
Like your brother.
If we're arguing, like oh well, like we're gonna get to that point. I don't care what the situation is. Yeah, I know you did this. Okay, next, move on.
Yeah. Well,
we are this. That's because we are the same person, Evie.
That's what I'm saying. Like she sounded just like you just did.
But he can be an asshole.
No, Keith is a teddy bear. Justice, I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
Period.
He can see. That's the Gemini.
See, we know him.
He can put up a facade that I don't give a shit about you. Like fuck you. But that's him showing like I care. You know what I'm saying?
Because if Justice didn't give a fuck about you, he wouldn't say anything to you.
Right, exactly. You
so
and that's how I am. Like you're not gonna get a response if I don't care about you. Like,
and I have nothing for you.
Right. I'm not gonna give you my opinion. I'm not gonna waste my breath on you. I'm not gonna. It really don't matter. But me, I'm like I can't just. I can leave you alone for a while, but I have to know that you're okay. Are you okay? How are you? You know, like Darrell serial texts me a lot, and when I don't, and when I had to apologize, like I'm sorry that I'm not ignoring you. I promise you, I'm not ignoring you. He was like, you don't have to apologize. You have a life, and I'm like, like I need you to know that I'm reading these text messages.
I'm taking care of my children.
Right? Like
I won't answer.
Right.
But no, I'm like that with people. Like I really, because I tend to tell people I'm gonna call them back and then don't,
Mhm.
not because I don't want to, but because I get easily distracted. Like I'm busy, and
But we're used to it now. We know that, like,
yeah,
when
like
she says she's gonna call you back, she means she's gonna call you back in 3 days.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I do.
Give it 35 business days.
But yes, like I really, but I'll do something to let you know, like I saw what you wrote. I'm here.
I
Just
saw it 3 days ago.
right. I understand. Yeah, I'm reading it. Yeah, I'm watching the videos. Like I see them.
There are no words to express how much I love you. I mean, me and Justice were best friends, and it got to a point where I would come around and spend more time with you. The great thing is Justice didn't really care.
Nope.
Because as you all know, we have a love hate thing.
Wait, what? A what?
Let him talk.
Right. So but it was just, you're just an amazing person. You always accepted me. I was always able to talk to you. And the last time I spoke to you guys, I'm sorry, I told Nisha I was going to say this. I said I couldn't really open up to people. Somebody asked me why didn't I open up to I never hid anything from Denisha. And she said that to me. She was like, you were always able to talk to me. And that's very true. I just wanted to put that on record. But she just always accepted me and my insecurities and my outbursts and just she just always understood me.
I knew you, even when
she knew me, yes. And we would listen to music, and we have these like little songs, score songs, like Wild One by Faith Hill and stuff. And it's like, who listens to that? Darrell and Denisha. It's like,
right.
I just love her. This woman has fed me. She housed me in her home. I talked about the whole situation with the drugs, bringing the drugs into her home, and she did not kick me out. You guys can ask her why, because I think my mother told her to. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. And she just wasn't going to have that when she literally could have been like, get the fuck out my home. Mm-hmm. She has been a beacon in my, okay, we're not doing this. I love her.
So next question before you go on a tangent. Next question.
I told you I'm glad he missed the last one.
Right. Because we don't need another 30 minutes of him answering one question.
Shut up.
Are you about to cry? Are you about to cry?
No.
Don't.
I'm just hot. Why am I always so shiny?
Your skin glowing, pure, the melanin.
No, I wasn't going to cry.
More with Denisha and Darrell when we come back. Mm-hmm. For more information on Promise Chat or anything that I'm doing, follow me on Instagram, justice_love86. Thank you. And we are back with Denisha and Darrell. I just want to, during the break, we already talked about it. I've already thanked you guys for being a part of this project, and I want to make sure that it's out there in public that I am thanking you all, and that I am very appreciative of you all for sharing your stories and sharing yourselves and sharing your hearts with us. I know that Frida has a question for Denisha, so we'll start off with Frida.
It seems like Denisha, from my perspective, just always gives unconditional love and accepts people as they are. And due to like your experience with men and not trusting them, how does it feel like to be on the other end and to have your husband let you come in as you are? How is it for you to receive that, especially from a man?
It is hard. Like I said before, it can get uncomfortable, mainly because I'm always in my head. Sometimes when he's just trying to be genuine, in my mind, it's what do you want? It's always reason behind it, and I don't even think that I really believe that it's a reason. It's just that that's one of the defense mechanisms I use to have the excuse as to why I don't want to take it in, so it's talking about it. I can see that, okay, he genuinely loves me. He genuinely accepts me for who I am. Because I was always insecure. I know in the letter I talked about being overweight my entire life, and I was always shy. And he loved every role, every part of me, and always wanted to show me off. And that was awkward for me. One, because I don't like attention. Two, because I wasn't used to it. Um, and I didn't see it, growing up either. I didn't see that. My dad only came around when he wanted something or if he was high, so he wasn't affectionate with my mother. My mother wasn't affectionate with us. Her way of telling us that she loved us is, you love your mother.
Yeah.
Go get something for me or go do something for me. It was never, I love you. You know what I'm saying? So I never saw the love that he's showing me. So it wasn't natural. Not saying it wasn't genuine, it just wasn't something I was used to. When people would try to give me, like, as far as men, when they would try to give me love and affection, I didn't know how to receive it. Um, honesty moment right now. I'm still working on that.
Honesty moment.
Me and my husband have honesty moments.
Oh,
So our honesty moment is
Tell him, girl.
we could be honest, and there's no type of problems. No type of we can't get mad. We can say how we feel, but we just gotta leave it there. And we had a lot of honesty moments. But we can only be as honest as possible. Like, even if we kept this secret for years, this honesty moment is what I want to tell you and what I want to move on from or whatever. And we leave it there and move on. But but my honesty moment right now for you all is that I'm still working on that. My oncologist, she been told me a long time ago, and my brother, I know he gonna say this, but to go see somebody, to talk about it, because cancer is not something that's just like a cold, and I dealt with it by myself, and I chose to deal with it by myself. And like I said in my paper, I got up, I took a shower, I did my hair, and that day I realized that I must have been going through some type of depression. And I'm so glad that I had this opportunity. Thank you all for even reading it, because it actually helped me to help others. It actually helped me to actually open up about myself. Like you all know, I don't do. So it actually made me think about, okay, Nisha, you need some type of healing. You need to work on this relationship, because how are you going to help anyone else? How are you going to continue to do what you love to do if you don't uh, get mentally, emotionally, physically healthy? Yeah,
I'm
but
definitely glad you're here.
Of course.
Definitely glad you're here. What was it like growing up with me as a
Oh God.
time to go. Time to go. I have to feed my children.
What was it like to him singing Alanis Morissette?
Every night.
You know what? Every time I'm sleepy,
Oh, keep
his
voice when you
voice
sleep.
annoys me. Every time I'm tired, like if
I
I'm on
remember
the
that.
phone with him, yes, even when I'm on the phone with him, it's just like, all right, I gotta
Gotta go.
I'm
Bye.
tired. Like you know how you get like cringe, like, and that weird feeling going up your spine. It's just like activates it.
Okay.
And he used to put his feet on me too. My son do that.
Oh yeah, you don't like feet.
Oh, I hate
my
feet.
hands. You don't like my
I
hands.
don't like none of that. Like,
Oh my God. All
we
right,
want to talk about growing up with you. Yes.
tell them.
Please feel free to subscribe and share down below.
Yes, but Yeah, you all been great. I wanna do this again. I'm sorry for stealing your shine now, but I think we should do this.
Take
I
it.
think we should do on YouTube. Like, I really think this the at least show
You know
people.
this is going on YouTube though, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. So you don't tell
It
me
goes up
much.
on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
For the world to see, we've been outed. You've been outed.
You've been on
I
it.
think we should have. I think it should be a podcast though.
I would
This
love
is
that.
this is a podcast, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. We record it as a YouTube video, and we take the isolated audio, and then we stream it as a podcast.
Oh,
Now, the question that I'm sure you're about to ask is, can you be a part of the podcast? But
Can she? I already asked. I got an answer.
did you get an answer?
Yes, you said
well,
yes.
if it's work related, then I don't think I should be, because this is your
Well,
job.
part of this isn't work related because it has nothing to do with my deliverables at all.
Oh,
Hey, I'm not. Anyway, final thoughts.
Okay.
We'll talk about this. I gotta edit this part out anyway. But we're gonna do final thoughts, and yeah. Okay, wait. Let me start the final thoughts. So 1, 4, 3. Got it. All right, cool. So I do want to thank my guests for being here and joining us today. So before we leave, we usually do final thoughts.
Okay. First of all, thank you for inviting me.
Briefly.
I want to say, Denisha, there are no words. Like, I love you. You are beautiful, intelligent, wise, caring, honest. You're just an amazing woman, and I want nothing but happiness for you. You have touched my life, your brother's life. You're touching unseen lives by opening up tonight. You are a beacon, like I've said, and I'm proud, to say you're my best friend. There are people who you have never met who know exactly who you are. And that will continue. You are everything, and I love you. That's all.
Thank you.
Next.
Is it my go?
Now I'm gonna let you go last.
Okay, good.
Go ahead, Ricardo.
Like I said.
What I wanted to say was, I feel like you're a really genuine soul, and even through you starting off with your introduction at first, it was just like, I don't know, you could just like sense that, and even though I'm not in the room, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like emanating out. So it's like, I feel like you're a really comforting person, and I feel like I'm glad to hear how you are progressing, and there's still like a lot more to work on, but even the progress that you made now is still very well, because you are noticing, and it's like it's never too late to notice when things are going wrong. So I'm glad that you are acknowledging it now, as opposed to like later when God forbid something happens, and it's like it's like you look back on your life and this is just that was a regret. So in order to kick that, like start off anew, and thank you. And healing isn't always. So I appreciate you for sharing your experiences.
Thanks, Ricardo.
Okay, so I just want to say that I just love the unconditional acceptance that you radiate. I definitely see why you got that nickname, and I won't mean it in in that sense. It's just like your personality is just so addicting. Like, who wouldn't want to be around it? I definitely am very honored to see the admiration that Justice and you have towards each other, as well the admiration that you gain from others. I could see why. I'm just like very honored to experience it. And like, I just love to see like you and Justice just like being like siblings, like joking around with each other. I just feel like it's really adorable. I'm just like, I just hope that I have that with my siblings. I'm just like it warms my heart. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, no lie. I've been low-key like trying not to get emotional this whole call. like, I'm sorry, this whole like meeting because of the fact of it's like basically like the term like come as you are, Darrell used in this call when Frida said it, but Frida got that from me. And I remember from reading your story, I'm like, wow, I could relate to her a lot, like similar background experiences and everything. And I remember like reading it and that came up in my head, like come as you are. Like I feel like honestly speaking, just as you tell everybody that's what this was us telling you. Like come as you are and we will accept you unconditionally. And thank you, because it's as I told to Darrell, as I told to Justice, as I told to these two, it's not easy telling your story, especially if you've been through a lot. And just like how you give everybody their roses, this is us giving you your roses. So thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Denisha.
Okay, so once again, thank you all for just inviting me into your guys' lives just for a couple of hours. It's been real therapeutic for me. Sometimes when I tell people, when I give others advice, I'm actually taking it for myself, like I'm realizing certain things. So, once again, thank you all. You've been welcoming, so I appreciate that. It's been easy to talk. It hasn't felt awkward at all. When I actually saw your guys' video with Darrell, and I told my brother, I was like, oh, I want to come on there. Like, I want to come on there. I told Darrell the same thing. And because I honestly believe that um, everybody needs an advocate. There's always somebody out there that needs to hear how someone got over it, or the fact that it's possible
Yeah.
to get over it, or so no matter what it is, whether it's mental illness, whether it's with drugs, whether it's abuse, um sexual abuse, anything, whether it's the things that we think don't matter. um Everybody deserves to be heard. Everybody deserves to be loved. Everybody deserves happiness. And if I can do anything to make that happen, I'm all for it. Um, I love what you guys are doing. I applaud it. Hopefully one day I can be a part of that. My goal is to start an advocates group um, for people who, not just the youth, because somewhere between the age of early adulthood, when somebody's at 18, people, society say they're grown, but they haven't even started to begin growing. So, especially in a Black community, when you're 18, it's like you got to get out and you got to figure it out. And this is the only culture that does that, where and I wanted to bring awareness to that. Um, in that age group needs a village, because I know I needed it, and I know so many other people that needs that love and attention that they wouldn't get from their family members, or they wouldn't get from their community. No, you can edit this out. I'm just telling them that. Sorry, I just wanted to let them know that I appreciate the work they're doing. I appreciate you. I love you. Um, yeah.
So, I was about to say, bring the kids in. Bring the kids in. We'll do that in a few. I've been sitting here trying to figure out what are my final thoughts? What are my final words? Because I feel like I always close out with the same thing, and that's like, be well, take care of yourself.
Simmons, thank you.
Yeah.
Right. I'm very Russell Simmons about it. But I feel like today's final thought should be, love isn't just about you. It's about everyone around you. Family isn't who, and we know this already. Family isn't who you're born with, but family is definitely those who you make your family. And I feel like the coolest thing about this is that we've all become family. I always said Community Promise was one huge family, and we cry all the time and things of this, but having you two here is like the most amazing thing for me because you both are my family, and to welcome you to my family away from my family means so much to me, and I can't even put that into words. So I thank you both for being here. Darrell's about to cry.
I am too. Don't feel bad.
I'm not. I'm okay.
Lies.
Well, this eye is getting a little teary, but I'm okay.
You sensitive.
I just can't help it.
It's okay, bro. It's okay. It's fine. It's okay. I love you all.
I want to cry.
I love you all. No, thank you all so much for being a part of this with me. And going on this journey that really just started because I was really just bored with work and I was trying not to quit my job. So I thank you all so much for going on this journey with me. And until then, thank you all for joining us. Be well, take care of yourselves and others. Thank you. For more information on Promise Chat or anything that I'm doing, follow me on Instagram, justice_love86. Thank you.